I guess I didn't actually throw this on the docket, but yeah, we can talk about speaking of cinematic universes. we, we can talk about the MCU and Sony's Spider-Man.
So, the Avengers game by Square Enix, which is going to be a live service game with a 10-year plan, I might add. Spidey Man, owned by Sony, will
That's
only be
correct.
playable on the Sony PlayStation.
You know, it's
So
pretty
that
cool. It's pretty cool that the Sony character Spider-Man has been
owned by
in
Sony.
such it's been such a cool working relationship over the years, and they've gotten so close to Marvel that they're basically like sharing a universe, and like now he's not even a guest anymore, right? It's awesome. It's like these two brands have come together, you know? Spider-Man cross Marvel. Like, who the fuck would have thought? I never saw that coming. Spider-Man cross Marvel is like such a sick crossover. I
That's
couldn't be.
crazy.
I would never have imagined in my life.
Do
And
you
here
remember
we
when
are.
Spider-Man let Sony use his font for the PlayStation?
What a time to be alive, bro. It's nuts. So, he's gonna be in the game now. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, he's going to be in the game, but only on the Sony PlayStation. So,
Uh huh.
there are there are like 3 live service games that are currently being in the run up, right? One is the Gearbox one that's like all mythical, looks like Too Human. I don't even mean that disparagingly. It's like mythical and like Valhalla kind of shit. It literally looks like Too Human. There's the Avengers game, which they just announced Hawkeye, who looks nothing like Jeremy Renner.
He's
Just
shaved
get
head.
away from that shit. And there's a third one, which I don't remember who's making it, and I don't remember the name of it. And I don't. It looked like you were all fighting in a desert, and the game only had one color. And I don't know if anyone's ever brought it up to me, but they were showing it was being shown off a couple weeks ago. Outriders, holy shit! Do you even remember this game at all, Wooly?
Not even remotely.
Who's making this? Square Enix and People Can Fly is making Outriders. Did you even see it?
I must have. I've got nothing.
Pull up here. I'll fucking here's scroll through this. Just scroll. Just doesn't even matter.
Why even
Oh,
bother?
look at it.
Do I even have to? Like, why bother? Like,
Yeah. Okay.
I get it.
They all look terrible. They all look like garbage. Like they look worse than the fake shit Anthem was putting out that everyone said was a lie. Like they are trying really hard with Outriders and Avengers in particular, and fucking, man, wow.
So, what I'm seeing here, not too sure, but it seems like people are not very happy with Square Enix and Crystal D over this deal.
No. Why is that, Wooly? Is it because Spider-Man is by far the world's most popular superhero?
You know, I never really realized that, like, Spider-Man really did just become a Sony exclusive character, didn't he?
Yep.
He's in Marvel 3, which is on both consoles, and you know, those games, the I want to say like Web of Shadows and Shattered Dimensions and stuff from the 360 era,
Mm-hmm.
like those games were still there. Marvel Ultimate Alliance, he's in that too, right? Yeah, okay. So no, he continues to exist. He continues to exist in a Marvel context in these other games. So what the fuck then? What the fuck at this weirdness? Is it because of
I think it
the
says a
branding
lot
of like
about.
Avengers specifically and like the MCU kind of like connection, you know?
I think it says a lot about Spider-Man, that the game that came out on Sony's PlayStation 4 that had Spider-Man in it was called Spider-Man. Like, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's definitive. This is our boy. You know, like,
Yeah. Um,
Spider-Man.
Marvel Spider-Man, right? Actually, wasn't it? I
Nope.
believe. No, wasn't there a little?
Well,
Anyway,
just looking at the Wiki article, it is literally just Spider-Man.
just Spider-Man. Yeah. I feel like I saw logos with it, but what the it is fucking weird, man. Because I'm like, it must be that the game here particularly ties into MCU contract dealings.
No, it's 'cause Sony paid the money. Because Sony only owns the movie rights, and
Yes.
this thing doesn't tie into the MCU at all. In
Yes.
fact, they're trying to get it away from the MCU, which seems to be a massive, stupid mistake.
But it's pseudo still resembling MCU-ish vibes. It's clearly kind of going.
I think the worst thing about that game is that it's
that.
knockoff MCU with the wrong actors instead of its own thing. Like they're using the comics version of the characters, but they're trying to paint it like it's the MCU, but they all look like knockoffs. It's super dumb.
Yeah, so that's well, yeah, it's
Just another reason to just not buy that game, which looks terrible.
and hey, like, you know what doesn't look terrible? Miles Morales, right? I think I would like to see the number of times Sony's made a bid to permanently own Spider-Man, which, to be perfectly honest, I don't think anyone can afford.
So a lot of every time this comes up, everyone's like mad at Sony, and I have to say, you should be a lot more mad at Marvel for making the actual stupidest deal in the history of the universe ever.
Correct.
The deal of you can keep it as long as you use it is the most short-sighted shit that could ever be.
The split and the mess that comes from the division of this entire universe is entirely based on Marvel not giving a fuck about films and not understanding what kind of insane contract they were doing. We all know this. It's the worst. It's the worst deal in history. Yeah,
they could have given them a 20-year deal and they'd have it back by now. And 20 years is a long time. You can make a lot of movies in
it is. You know, they were desperate for money. They signed in, and there was just this the concept of a non-shit superhero movie just didn't exist. Just it could never be done.
Except for pretty much just Batman.
But it's like
Maybe
just
Superman
the idea
too.
of talented people making a thing that doesn't suck it's just an unfathomable concept. Yeah. No. Yes, the fact that they were.
If you want to know why that idea was so crazy, go watch Kevin Smith talk about trying to write the fucking Superman
movie. Yeah. No. It's we know about the bankruptcy. It's very clear that they were having their money problems. It was still an insanely stupid deal. So that happened.